Going on, everybody? So Duke basketball did beat Army the other day, 100-58. I believe the freshman Con Knuppel also got ACC Rookie of the Week for those first two games of the season. That's kind of a little bit surprising because Cooper Flagg, the other freshman, is more of a highly talented guy and expected to be the number one pick in next year's NBA draft. But it was the other five-star player, freshman, that ended up getting the Player of the Week, which is pretty cool. He obviously played very well and had more points even than Flagg through those first two games, so not mad about that. And I think even they moved up one spot in the AP poll to number 6. I don't know who exactly lost ahead of them or if they just had a better win or something like that than some other team, but if you lost early, then that's most reason why ended up moving up to whoever ended up losing that was ahead of them. But either way, congrats to them. We'll see how they do. I know they get on Tuesday, as you're watching this, a game against Kentucky, who's like another top 25 team, and it's that Champions Classic. So it's going to be a really good game, hopefully, and I'll be able to catch it live as well later in the day. There was a lot of news. I think some of the more positive news when it comes to Duke in the NBA, Kyrie Irving ended up having 43 points the other day, so that was pretty cool to see. And also the rookie Jared McCain of the 76ers, once again, had another career high. It's his first time scoring over 20 points in his rookie season, and he had like 27. So, of course, that's going to be a new career high for him also. So, congrats to both of those guys for having some pretty good games pretty recently in the NBA. And then, yes, sadly, there were a couple guys who have been out due to injury when it comes to Duke players. I know Zion Williamson, once again, is out due to a hamstring, and they just say out indefinitely, so that sucks because that just means no timetable, so he will be reevaluated in a couple of weeks. Then Derek Lively, the second of the Dallas Mavericks, has been out at least the last 4 games, and also Wendell Carter Jr. of the Orlando Magic has also been out the past couple of games. I think 4 straight games as well, so I don't know exactly what those guys are dealing with or how severe it is, but hopefully it isn't too bad and they will be able to return in the next week or so. And then the LA Lakers, they had a pretty up and down road trip pretty recently, but luckily they came back home late last week and played against the 76ers. I think that was on Friday, and they were able to get that victory against them 116-106. LeBron James had a triple-double with 21 points, 12 assists, and 13 assists and 12 rebounds. They also ended up beating the Raptors a couple of days later, 123-103. LeBron James also had another triple-double and 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 16 assists as well. So yeah, congrats to them finally getting another couple-game win streak. I know their last loss, I think it was like J.J. Redick only answered like 2 questions in his post-game presser, and then he like stormed out and had like a 1-word answer to the question, and everybody was like talking about that, saying like if he has already lost the team in the locker room. But of course they come back, end up getting a couple of victories, which is cool. I know there was a pretty big injury with Anthony Davis, according to like I think his face or his eye, he got poked in the eye or something like that. So he's even seeing a eye specialist. So I don't know if he's going to be wearing goggles like James Worthy or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did back in the day, but maybe that's his best case scenario because he always, for some reason, gets poked in the eye playing defense and stuff. So hopefully he gets that all situated now. And the USC women's basketball team ended up having another victory against Cal Poly. They ended up beating them 90-35, which is cool. So they're 2-0. And apparently there's going to be a docu-series on Peacock about Juju Watkins. So I guess they've been following her, and I think LeBron's company and Clutch Sports, who's also her main agency that she's a part of, which I think he has a part ownership in it as well, are going to be doing some type of thing. I know there's going to be 2 episodes appearing. I think it's like November 23rd, whenever they play against Notre Dame, to finally renew that rivalry on the women's basketball side. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool because I think you get the 2 episodes of that docu-series a couple hours before the game. Then you get that game, and then I think later in the night, that game against UCLA was pushed back to like 7 o'clock, and it's going to be on Peacock as well, so that's going to be pretty cool for all those USC people to be able to do all that stuff in one day. So yeah, looking forward to checking that out soon. And then Duke football also had a nice victory this last weekend against a rival in NC State, beating them 29-14. So yeah, that was cool to see. Back on their winning ways. I want to say that was their 7th win officially. I don't think it was their 8th, but yeah, definitely their 7th. But either way, it's more wins than USC football right now. And the Chargers ended up beating the Tennessee Titans this weekend, 27-17. And I believe Joey Bosa now has 70 career sacks with the Chargers, which is second on their all-time history, the team history. So that's pretty cool for him. And I think Justin Herbert also made some history with like the most completions in his first 5 seasons in all of NFL history, not just Chargers history. So yeah, it's pretty nice stat for him as well. So you kind of wish that they'd have a couple more wins here and there on the season, but at least they're moving in the right direction as of right now. And I believe that game this weekend against the Cincinnati Bengals was going to be like a regular 4 o'clock game in LA, but now they actually flexed it. So Sunday Night Football is going to be coming to LA now because I guess they had a pretty crappy game on Sunday Night Football. They're like, no, we need a good time matchup with Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. So yeah, that's going to be fun. At least they get the spotlight on Sunday night, and hopefully the Chargers can step up and be one of those top AFC teams as well. And Duke women's soccer found out they're going to be a number 1 seed. I told you that's probably going to be the most likely scenario, so congrats to them. And then I believe they're also going to be playing against Howard within the next couple of days, so hopefully they can get that easy enough victory and move on to the next round. And even positive news also for the USC women's soccer side. They are also a number 1 seed in the tournament, which is cool, and they play against Sacramento State. So once again, that should be an easy victory for them, and they're actually on different sides of the seeding and all that stuff in the brackets, so they could actually end up meeting in the finals, which could be a pretty cool thing. So hoping that is what is going to end up happening within the next couple weeks or so, but yeah, it's going to be crazy if that does end up happening. An ex-USC wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown, had another TD catch this last weekend. I believe that's 7 straight games, which is a Detroit Lions history in the making. So yeah, congrats to him. Hopefully he can just continue to add to that. It hasn't really been a great year for him fantasy-wise, but he's still producing and helping that team. I think they're like 8-1 or something like that. So yeah, congrats to them coming back on Sunday Night Football against the Houston Texans. And then, yes, a quick RIP to John Robinson, who is an ex-all-time great USC football coach. I know he coached like the Rams as well, a couple other pretty local teams. But yeah, he was a big influence in the NFL and in college, and especially Southern California. So yeah, he was one of those couple prior guys ahead of Pete Carroll, who was the main guy I started watching when I became a USC fan, obviously. So yeah, it's a big-time RIP. And then president of USC right now, Carol Folt, it looks like she's going to be retired at the end of the academic year, which is, I guess, technically at some point in June or July next year, which is kind of weird how USC does their academic years. But either way, she's been pretty good ever since she's been there the past 5+ years. I just hope they get someone just as good, if not better than her. She's been pretty solid, in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully they can get someone just as good. And I believe it was Tom Loy of 247 Sports put a prediction in for USC commit quarterback Julian Lewis, that 5-star, to go predict him to somewhere else in Colorado. So that's not as surprising because I know a lot of people have been trying to put that in motion and try to make it come true anyways before he's even said anything. And he's still always said he's committed to USC, but I guess now he's had made a couple more visits over to Colorado, so it's not that surprising, like I said. But I know within the past couple of weeks or so, USC has been gaining a lot of momentum with that 5-star quarterback locally to me and Corona Centennial, who's on Longstreet, who is committed to Texas A&M. So I think in the long run, probably Julian Lewis is the better prospect, but Longstreet is a bit taller and a bit more athletic, in my opinion, and as good of enough as a thrower as Lewis. He's not as great, but still very athletic, still very fast, and I think more of a guy that's more traditional in Lincoln Riley's offense compared to Lewis. But Riley has always liked Lewis because he was a more talented guy, but as of right now, I guess he kind of saw the writing on the wall that Lewis was going to go somewhere else, so he's been looking at Longstreet pretty well, and that relationship has been building, so hopefully get some good news on that front within the next month or so. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day.